let's get him, let's take him. Woo! So today's topic is March 11. That's when the big earthquake happened, and that's when, as you hopefully know, the tsunami hit the nuclear power plant. This is not so much about the power plant and the aftermath and the radiation and all this stuff, but it's more about what did I do that day. So the earthquake hit like afternoonish, like, I'm not sure, 3 o'clock or so. I was still at home. I had a meeting that day, but I wasn't late, but I was supposed to go to work rather late, like 4:30 in the afternoon. I was still home. Sorry, I've got to concentrate. I have to follow these guys. So the first, well, there were several earthquakes, right? And I was in my room, I was in my apartment, which is basically a small, shiny shit room. Oh, fucking... Basically the earthquake hit, I was in my room, I was at my computer, everything rattled like crazy. We had these Japanese wooden sliding doors, and everything was like shaking, they were shaking in their frames. It's all wooden doors, and the sliding doors to the balcony, they were also rattling like crazy, which was, well, pretty scary for a bit. I mean, I've had experienced earthquakes here, but I didn't really feel the difference. I didn't really know the difference. And we're going for it. I had experienced a few earthquakes before, and basically I just shook it off, like, it happens. I'm not used to them. We have no earthquakes in Germany. And that this one was stronger, I didn't really feel it. Well, I wasn't in the epicenter obviously, I was like in Tokyo, and Tokyo wasn't hit that badly. The problem wasn't the earthquake at all, the problem was the tsunami. The earthquake didn't do really anything, nothing big was damaged. Some of the plastic facades in front of houses fell down, advertisement boards fell down, some roads were like ripped up. The tsunami was the biggest problem, that was where the damage came from. And I was in my room and I kind of, well, experienced the earthquake. I noticed it, but I didn't really care much about it. What scared me wasn't the earthquake at all. What scared me was that many Japanese, and children especially, from my building, it's a 2-story building with 8 apartments in it, like an old wooden one, and the ones downstairs, they jumped outside on the kind of terrace thing, and all the kids started crying, right? And that worried me a bit. But anyway, there was more than one earthquake. I think there were at least 2, and then a bunch of really small ones, like the whole aftermath kind of thing. That was a bit scary. Ah, no side bags today, huh? I can lane split much more easily. I mean, oh. So what did I do after the earthquake? Basically I had to go to work, so I wanted to take a shower. I usually take a shower before work, even though I work like in the afternoon to feel like more refreshed. So I went to the bathroom, and I noticed that because of the earthquake the gas was shut off, and it was freaking cold water. So what I ended up doing was putting basically tap water in plastic bottles, PET bottles, drinking bottles, and I heated them up in the microwave, and then I took a shower with that, and I jumped on my bicycle and I rode my bicycle to work, which I usually do, well, what I did back then. It was like a 15-minute bicycle ride. When I got to the street, like there's this main street, and I noticed later that it's the one you guys have seen before. Shinno Mikaido is apparently emergency earthquake road that cars are not allowed to use, so that emergency vehicles can get in and out of Tokyo more easily. And once I got there, my bicycle was completely empty. There were no people anywhere. So I take, with a bicycle you take a lot of shortcuts. And look at this pretty place. So I used a lot of back roads and stuff, and once I got to work I almost didn't see any cars. I didn't see pedestrians. It was halfway like a ghost town, and I was like, oh my god, what's going on? Because I didn't know. Because I had absolutely no idea. And then I got to Kichijoji, and I usually park my bicycle behind one of the big department stores, and when I got to Kichijoji I walked through some kind of alley to the main road in front of the station, and there were thousands of people. There's like this place, smoking area, police station, bus station, and there are no big buildings right next to it, and that's where all the people were. Everybody was there from all the higher buildings. Everybody was just there. So yeah, once I got there, and then my boss was there, right? And everybody had meetings cancelled, and he saw me. He's like, what are you doing here? And I just said to him, well, I'm working, right? I've got to work from 4 o'clock or something. Yeah, they're being silly buggers here. So I got to work. My boss said, what the hell are you doing here? Like, what the hell is he doing here? And I said I had to work. I have like a meeting at 4:45, and he saw us. Well, don't you know the big earthquake and tsunami and blah, and everybody is like, all the trains have stopped and nothing goes and everything is fucked. And I'm like, I have no idea. I just got here on my bicycle, right? All the other colleagues, they were all outside as well, and we talked a bit, and it was really funny because the mobile network was completely shot. Like, nobody could make a call, and a bunch of us who had these like USB e-mobile portable wireless devices, they could all use the internet, so we called each other on Skype, and my boss called HQ, and basically they said all company closed, all branches closed, nobody working. Sent them all home was kind of like the thing he was told. Didn't we just come from there? So I asked them what happened, and they said that the earthquake had hit and everybody was just running from the offices. They were all jogging downstairs from the 6th floor. Everybody was trying to get out, and all the clients were kind of like, yeah, you can just like fuck off. We're not gonna do any more work here, and everybody left. And yeah, the main thing was all the trains had stopped, right? My wife has like had at the time a 1.5 hour commute by train, and she walked home. A lot of her colleagues, they decided to stay in the company. Many of them, it happened on a Friday, and many of them slept in the company till Saturday because they just couldn't walk home. They have like a 2-hour commute by train, and it just didn't work. They just couldn't find another way to get home. My wife said, no, I'm not gonna sleep in the office.